Happy Friday, friends. All right, to start things off, before I forget, we are almost at 100 episodes, and I literally like cannot even believe this. That is insane to me. Not that I didn't think it was going to happen, but I'm like, holy shit, we're almost there. So, I have two things. The first one being there is a form in the show notes where you can go and add questions for me to answer on the 100th episode because I thought that would just be fun. So go add some questions in there. I would love for you to do that. And it can be on anything, whatever you want, business, life, whatever. Make it fun, spicy, whatever the hell you want. Um, if it's too crazy, I may not answer it, but we will see. I mean, we'll determine at the time. I probably will anyways, but whatever. Go add your questions. I am super excited for that one. So go do that. The second thing, um, also on that form, because I find I have so many ideas about episodes that I want to record. Like I have so many ideas. It's partly the ADHD. But I literally have so many. And I want you to just add in any topics or other questions that you would like me to talk about. Anything that you would like, you know, more on. I guess that was weird. Whatever. Business, life stuff, whatever. Add in the topics, whether it's like systems, strategy, mindset stuff, like whatever it is. Go add that in there as well. I would super appreciate that just so that I know what you want to hear, because that'll help me narrow down some things. Because I have so many ideas, but I'm like, I can't record podcasts every single day. I mean, I could, but that'd be a lot. So, anyways, go do that for me. I would love that. Super appreciate it. And thank you. Now, for today's episode, this is the thing. No one wants to hear this, but it is probably one of the most effective things for building and growing your business. And we talked about this week on Tech Help Desk or in Tech Help Desk on the call. And it is hard for pretty much everyone across the board. It's really hard to get your head wrapped around this, but it is truly the most effective thing for building, growing, scaling your business. And it is focusing on the same strategy long term in terms of how you are going to get get leads into your business and then convert to clients. Focusing on that long term. And I'm talking like at least 90 days. The same strategy. And so many people are like, I don't want to fucking do that. That is way too long. That sounds awful. I don't want to do that. However, hear me out through this entire thing because we're gonna talk through this, okay? It is truly the thing that is going to help you. It's the same strategy, looking at the data from that, analyzing that data, making one or two small tweaks and seeing what happens. So it's really using that same strategy for like way longer than that. I'll give you an example. For me personally, and I've talked about this probably many times, but I do my free sessions and I have done them for years now. Since I started this business, it's been almost 3 years in this business alone, but I have done them this entire time. And that is my number one thing that I do in order to essentially convert clients. It is not a sales call, but it is something where I build connection with people. And I know that at some point, usually if someone gets on a call with me, they will convert down the road. And that has been something that I have done for way more than 90 days, way more. But beyond that, what I actually do day to day has been the same things for like an insanely long time. It's just, it is the same things over and over and very small tweaks. Refine and repeat. Because when you're doing too many things, you don't even know what works. You can't tell what is actually working. So, how do you choose the right strategy for you when we're really breaking this down? What I like to get people to think about is looking at what you're doing right now. What is actually working? Don't tell me nothing. And that's sometimes an answer that I get, nothing or everything. And then we have to look at what is not working. If it's the answer is everything, what is not working? Because we're going to just get rid of what's not working. But if you say nothing, I also don't believe you because you have a business right now that is bringing in leads and clients. So something's working. And it's really thinking about the last leads that you got. Where did they come from? Where did those leads come from? They didn't just magically appear out of thin air. So what did you do to get them? How do you normally convert your clients? Whatever that is, whether it is getting on a call, whether it's, if you do master classes, whether it's if you're a fitness coach and you have a free trial and people sign up out of that, like whatever it is, it can be any number of things. It can be a lot of things, but what is it specifically for you that you have found works really well? And if you're thinking, nothing is right now, but something that you were doing even 6 months ago, if you think back and you're like, oh, you know what? That used to work really well. Think about bringing it back again because that might be the thing that you want to focus on here and really put your focus into that for a long time to build that momentum and get things going. And you really you want to stick with like one or two things, not 20, one or two, and really put your focus there. So if it is leads, it is not, putting out 5 master classes a month and PDFs and free calls and like, then we don't know what's working. And honestly, probably none of them because who has the energy for that? Like, let's be real right now. I don't. I really don't. I was actually going to record a podcast today that was like, I'm really fucking tired. That was going to be the podcast. And I was like, no, we're going to do this one because this is really important also. And I really wanted to talk about this. But, anyways, no one has the energy to do 20,000 different things at once. And you don't need to. That's the other thing. You don't need to. When you can find these one or two things that work really well, that's what you need to focus on. And when you have too many, you literally can't tell what the fuck is working. You have no idea what's working. It's like the whole too many cooks in the kitchen. That's what happens. It's the same with strategy, but when you narrow it down and you focus, you know what's working, and then you can refine that and you can make it even better. And especially when we're talking about like scaling your business, that is what you really want to be looking at because you cannot be doing everything. You can't be spreading yourself thin and doing every fucking thing that's out there. You can't. Like it's literally impossible. Now, giving it time, not 2 weeks, not a month, not 2 months, that's not enough time. And like I said, this is where it's that part and it's doing, the same thing for a long time that so many people have a really hard time wrapping their head around because it almost seems counterintuitive. Like if it's not working fast enough, then it's not working, but it truly needs time to work. The way that everything in the world is right now. People need more time to even see what you are doing. Like if you have a freebie out, if you have an offer out, like no matter what it is, like think about this for yourself. Attention spans are so low. There's so much shit going on. You might not, someone might be selling something for like 3 weeks before you even notice that it's there. And if that's the first time you see it and they're only giving this like 2, 3 weeks of time, well, if they give it 2 weeks, you missed it because if you only were going to see it at 3 weeks, it's gone. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not enough time. We really, really need to give these things more time to build momentum, to really see what's going to happen. And it's also thinking about like, how long are you going to be in business for? Like, are you retiring tomorrow? I'm not. I mean, that'd be great, but no. Also, it wouldn't because I don't know what I would do. Um, I'd be bored. So I couldn't. But 3 months is like a blip in the grand scheme of things in terms of time. And if you keep switching things up, it's going to take a hell of a lot longer to get to where you want to go than if you just focus in and you give this some time and you really dial that in and you go, all in on this thing and you actually do it for the 3 months and probably longer because that's what it's going to take. Now, I have an example, another good kind of like client case study about this. One of my clients, we've been working on a funnel of hers for a bit now, and we've set up ads. She has a freebie, it's going to a program, and she really wanted to set up like a few things at once and get, a few of her programs running at one time, all of these people in and like, you know, scale essentially as fast as she could. However, that's usually not how it works. So when we started to see how things were actually moving, it was like, hold up, we have to slow down here because leads are coming in, but clients are not converting. So what is going on here on the back end? There is a gap and that needs to be closed. And we can't be focusing on this other program and this other thing and this course and that thing because it's too much. It's too much at once. It's too much for you. It's too much for your audience. No one knows what the hell's going on. And she even said the other day, she's like, I am so glad that we stopped doing all of the things and are just focusing on this one because now we can get this running really well and hopefully duplicate that process for the other programs and courses. Which is like, yes, that's exactly it. That is exactly it. And I know we all, you know, it's that thing where you're like, but I don't want to wait. I want to make the money right away. The thing is, though, if it's not working, you're not going to anyways. And trying to scale the fastest isn't about y- like you can't just do it as fast as possible because it's probably not going to happen and it's not going to be sustainable. Sometimes it is about slowing down, seeing what's happening, seeing what's working, and actually getting things refined and tweaked to make it better and really make it work well. Now, it might take longer than 90 days. With this client specifically, we've been working on this now for 4 or 5 months. And, it's been a process to get everything set up, especially, and then get the ads running, get the marketing on, social media organically, do all of those things. And like most of these things do take longer than 90 days. And especially if you want it to be sustainable long term. If this is not something that you're just wanting to build so that it works for you 1 or 2 times overnight, it is going to take a while in order to get really what you want in place solid. Rome wasn't built in a day. Are you sick of these things? It's only 2 of them. Whatever. But like seriously, it's not overnight. And once you've tried something for a while, it's looking at the data, seeing what's happening and refining from there. Then it's tweaking like 1 or 2 things, not everything. Otherwise, again, you have no idea what's actually working or what is like making things work better or not. So, a good example of this is thinking about an email funnel. So, like for going back to this client example, she has a lot of leads that are coming in. That part we have down the that is really good. The conversion rate on her landing page from everything amazing. That part's really good. So we are not touching it right now because that is working. Now, if we weren't looking at the data and we were just like, well, because the gap is that no one is actually opting in for her program yet. And if we were just thinking about that, it would be like, what is oftentimes what we go to is, well, then it's just not working. Like the whole funnel's not working. Fuck this shit. We're just going to tear it down. The whole thing is like, no, right? But that's not what's actually happening. Her conversion rate from her lead magnet is really good. She's getting like so many leads and it's crazy. But her open rate on the emails that are sending out the lead magnet and selling her offer, it's not as high as we want. So the first thing that we are going to look at is changing the subject lines only, just the subject lines. And that seems like such a small thing because it is. We're not changing the content in the email. We're not doing anything else. Because if people aren't even opening the emails, you have no idea if it's the content. They haven't gotten there yet. They haven't even read it. Like we have no idea if it's good or not. It may or may not be. That is not the issue that we are currently looking at, right? If your open rate is really good, now if we were getting all these leads, the open rate's super good, but no one's clicking, then we look at the content. Then we see, okay, why is that part not working? Then it's time to tweak that. But it's really small tweaks, giving it time, and one strategy, one thing at a time, which also means in the bigger picture of things, you aren't putting your time and energy into a million different places at once. Because I hear a lot, I feel like I'm doing all the things, which, yeah, I get that because you are, and you don't have to. But when you are trying 10 different strategies at a time and you're trying to, you know, do all of these things, be on all the platforms, put out all the freebies, promote all these offers, you are doing all of the things. Like, that's actually what you're doing, and you don't have to. It's about focusing, seeing what the one strategy, the thing you want to promote right now, what is going to get you the leads and convert to clients. Focusing on those things, because growing your business and scaling your business is not about doing more. You can't do that. We don't have an infinite amount of time where we can just do more. It's about finding the things that work and doing them better, refining what is working so it works for you long term, and not just constantly putting time and effort into extra strategies to see if that's going to get you more leads and clients, because it's not. It's really not. It's not going to be effective. It's really when you can focus and do the things that work even better. So that's what I got for you today. If you want to work through this together, I do have a couple spots open for my free systems and strategy sessions. The link for that will be in the show notes. I love working through this with people and figuring out, what do you need to focus on? What is really important? Breaking down really what scaling even looks like to you. Like, breaking that down, because that is actually a really big part of this. Identifying that and then being able to put in place what you need to work towards it. So if you want to do that, you can grab a free session and we can do that together. And if you like this episode, share it with a friend. I would greatly enjoy that. Make sure you go fill out the form, put in your questions for me. I want to hear them. I want to see the topics you want to have covered. And if you like the episode, give it a 5-star rating and review. And as always, go after everything that you fucking want and be unapologetic about it.